Hello, friends. Today I'm going to talk about India in the present scenario. Imagine being told for decades that progress must look like the West, that power wears a suit and speaks English in a certain accent, follows the rules written in a European country or in the boardroom of America. And now imagine a country that looks back dead in your eyes and says, "No, thank you." And that country is India. India is a country that West cannot defeat, not militarily, not culturally, not ideologically, and certainly not economically. India is not just a powerful country because of its military, but it has a memory. It has a civilizational memory, and it is one of the most ancient civilizations surviving on this planet Earth. And it is not a country that was stitched together by any colonizer or is built on a stolen land. While Europe was crawling on its knees, India had surgery, India had universities, India had mathematics, philosophy, and literature. While West tried everything to kill India, they they tried divide and rule, they tried fame, they tried systematic religious conversion campaigns, but they failed to break the soul of India. And this soul, this memory rises once again. Look at the demographics of India. The average of age of India is below 30, and this is one of the youngest countries in the world with the most ancient roots. And imagine more than 1 billion people and and digitally connected to the world around, and then compare it to the Western world. The West is shrinking, retiring, and they are easing. And and on the other hand, Indian population marches forward and invites the world to follow. And unlike in the past, the India doesn't does not look towards London or Washington for their instructions or approval. India is a country that built nukes while feeding 1 billion or more empty stomachs. India is a country that launches a space mission with a budget of less than uh, a Hollywood movie based on the same theme. And despite wars, partition, insurgencies, India uh, holds elections with more than 1 billion voters. That is more than the total population combined of the West. And this is not sheer luck. It it comes with grit and resilience. And and this is something that drives the Western people insane. And West is particularly upset with India that why don't India join a club? For an example, post World War II and during the Cold War, world was divided into two halves, two camps, two teams, and India decided to choose its own friends. India said that India will buy weaponry from Russia, that India will trade with America as well, forgetting the wounds of Sino-India War of 1962. It will trade with China, even if there is the trade deficit. And at the same time, India can engage with Iran as well. And very recently, India is going to increase the oil import from Russia despite the threats by Donald Trump for 50% tariff or sanctions. India is going to increase the oil import from Russia. So India decides its own friends, and this is something that 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 rattles the Western elite, and this is something that has come to India with with a with an experience, and and now look at the money. For quite far too long, Western world dominated the world with its money power and economy, and today with the India's tech industry, its its startups, its Silicon Valley in Bengaluru, and more than billion working hands. India emerges as and the digital digital penetration that India is having today is something that drives the West mad, and this is something that that the world has not expected. And moreover, all this growth of India comes with a democracy, unlike China. But make no mistake, it is a democracy that does not beg for Western approval or validation. Indian voters won't take lectures from those who cannot fix the problem of homelessness in their own cities. Culturally, West always believed that they hold the monopoly on influence, but yoga has penetrated in all the gyms in the West today. Indian food dominates the world global cuisine, and Bollywood again is global, and 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 Indian philosophers are being taught in Ivy League schools in the West. So you need not to colonize the minds. If your culture penetrates and enters into or crosses the borders uninvited, you need not to dominate the world militarily when you have that cultural identity, that that long ancient history of culture. And this is something that rattles the Western elite, that why don't India fall in line, and why won't India behave. And the answer is simple, that West does not want to listen to, because India no more wants to be a footnote in someone else's stories. It wants to write its own script, its own chapter, its own book, not in English language, but the language of its own, be that Assamese, Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil, or whatsoever. But it is it is not going to be project of someone else now. It wants to make its presence registered in the world scenario now, and it is the world should not forget that it is one of the only fastest growing economy in the world, superseding China even. And and this means a lot. You cannot keep this country isolated for far too long, because India once had the contribution of 27% of the global GDP in 1700s, and then the plundering loot of Britishers reduced it to less than 2%, and in 1947, and this nation rises again, and and today it is the center of center of the the global trade now. And if you want to dominate this country with the kind of tariffs that America want to impose on India, I believe America is mistaken. One more thing that West fails to understand is that you cannot force someone to buy something that the other party doesn't want to purchase. And uh, and what India wants from the West, all India wants is sovereignty, respect, and dignity. And if you fail to offer that to India, India will build its own path and will invite the world to follow. Because luckily, the world does not revolve around Paris, Berlin, London, Washington, or New York anymore. It it pulses in the streets of Mumbai. It 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 beats in the startups of Bengaluru, and it echoes in the billion and other hearts of Indians. And India has realized this power now, and we should realize one thing, that you cannot break or you cannot defeat a country that has that has the remembrance of its ancient past, ancient glory. And West has tried this for far too long, and now India has decided to settle this thing for once and all. And it is way better for West if it understands India's mood as of now, and deal with India on on equal footing and level playing field. Thank you so much.